This conference will now be recorded.
Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we had done till count function, I believe. So any doubts till here? Anybody is having any doubts till here? Okay, now let's go to the next sheet. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So now I wanted to see the max and minimum function. Okay, so in order to get the max function, I'll type equals max, open the bracket, and now here I wanted to see the maximum marks in English. So I'll just select the range. So that is from E2 to E6, close the bracket and enter. The same way I wanted to check it out for the history. I wanted you people to try with it. So minimum marks in English, so equals min function, select the range, close the bracket and enter. So this is the minimum marks. I'll show you the formula. I wanted you people to try this out. Max and minimum. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's go for referencing. So what are reference in Excel? So reference are of three types. Before we get into reference, I wanted to clarify one thing. So when I'm typing in one and I am applying the fill handle, so this black color cross, when I apply this, so what Excel has done,
Copy paste.
So it had copied the same number till the range. Now here I'll tell 1, 2. Okay, and I'll select both the things together, and now here I will do the fill handle. Now what Excel has done, why it has not copied, instead it has completed the sequence of number? Any guess?
It must be the formula.
It is not any formula or anything. So when I told only one and applied the fill handle, Excel took the reference of the first cell, okay, wherein it was only one. So Excel understood that whatever the range the user is defining, I need to copy and paste the same number. When I took 1 and 2 together and I applied the fill handle, Excel took the reference of the first two cell, and it understood that I need to complete the sequence what she has given, the user has given. Okay, so whenever I am applying this fill handle, okay, this right hand side black color cross which is called as fill handle, Excel understands that I need to apply the fill handle wherein taking the reference of the first cell. Okay, so here in reference we have three types. First one is relative reference, absolute reference, and mixed reference. So let's understand what is relative reference is. Okay, so relative reference, so here I have given an example of month, the total revenue and expenses, and here I wanted to see the net income. So net income, it is very simple calculation. I have taken equals total revenue minus expenses. Okay, I'll press enter. Again and again I'm not going to apply the calculation. So instead what I will do is I'll click here to the first cell and double click. My calculation is done. So what Excel has done, let's look at the formula. So here I told it is B20 minus C20, that is the cell address what I have taken. So B20 is nothing but my total revenue 25,000 minus C20, which is my expenses 18,560. So when I subtract these two values, I'm getting my net income. When I applied the fill handle, Excel took the reference of the first cell. So here wherein I have applied the subtraction, simple calculation, I have applied subtraction. So it understood that I need to apply the same subtraction to the other selected range also. So it took the reference of that first cell and it applied the subtraction. And as it is coming to the next cell, it is making the necessary changes. So when it is here, it is taking B20 minus C20. When it is coming down, it is taking the reference of B21 minus C21, again B22 minus C22. Like in where till wherever my range is, it is going to apply the calculation and fill the range. Okay, so this is called as relative reference. So by default, when you are writing any type of calculations, function, formula, anything, and you are applying the fill handle, Excel is going to take relative reference. So it is going to take the reference of the first cell and is going to fill the other range, selected range. Okay, so this is called as relative reference. Clear about this? Understood?
Ma'am, can you please tell it once again?
So here what is relative reference is. So here I told when I give one and I did the fill handle, Excel understood that it has to fill the selected number. So when I gave one, so Excel understood that whatever the range the user has taken, I need to copy the same number. But when I took the range like 1 and 2, when I selected and I applied the fill handle, Excel understood that I need to fill the selected range with the continuity, with the sequence of the number what the user has selected. Okay, so by default Excel take relative reference in any of the calculation function or formula. Okay, so first one, relative reference, if you see, I wanted to check the net income equals total revenue minus expense. It's a simple calculation what I'm taking, minus C20, enter. And again I'm not going to apply the calculation. What I'll do is I'll come to the first cell, I'll go to this right hand side corner and double click on it. So automatically my calculation is done. How the calculations are done? So if I look at my formula, I have written B20 minus C20. When I applied the fill handle, Excel took the reference of the first cell wherein I have applied the calculation. It understood that I need to apply the minus. So it has taken minus sign over here by making necessary changes. As the values are moving down, it is taking the reference of the next cell. Like from B20 minus C20, when it came down, it has changed it to B21 minus C21. B22 minus C22, B23 minus C23. So like this, it will calculate up the range, whatever I have selected. Okay. So by default, Excel is going to take relative reference in whichever calculation, function and formula you are using. Once you apply the fill handle, Excel is going to perform the same thing, whatever you have done in the first cell, and is going to fill the range the same way. Okay. So this is relative reference. Clear, ma?
Um,
Next, we are coming for absolute reference. So after this, you people can try it out. So here, what is absolute reference? So here, either my column or my row will be constant. Okay. So my row and column both will be constant. So here I have given an example of few employees who have done extra hours, that is overtime they have worked. Per hour the wages is 150. Now here I need to calculate how much should I pay to John, how much should I pay to Peter, Mark, Henry, like this. So when I apply the calculation equals, so actually it has to be multiplied like 3 into 150. I'll select 3 into 150. I'll press enter. I'll come here and I will apply the fill handle. Have I got the correct values?
no.
So there is
No,
some
ma'am.
mistake happened. So if I check it out, what I have done. So I have taken 3 into 150. I got the right answer. When I'm coming down 4 into empty cell, again I'm coming down 2 into gross pay, 1 into, so wherein how the calculation should have applied, it should be 3 into 150, 4 into 150, 2 into 150, 1 into 150, wherein here there should be a flow and here the value should have remained constant. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this cell, fix, or I can tell locking the cell, making the cell constant, or anything, freezing the cell, anything. But here the cell should have remained constant. So for that, how am I going to do? So I'll first erase these values. I'll tell equals. So this is 3 into 150. So now can you tell me what is the thing I have taken? So C33. C33 is nothing but C is your column and 33 is your row. Correct? So here C is my column, 33 is my row. Now I'll just press F4, functional key F4 from your keyboard. On the topmost you can see F1, F2, F3, F4 is there, no? So I'm going to press F4, functional key F4. Now can you see any changes has happened? Can you tell me what is the changes that it has applied once I press F4?
There is
The
dollar.
dollar.
Yes, so dollar symbol has appeared. So dollar symbol, it is before C and dollar symbol is before 33. That means C is your column and 33 is your row. So when this dollar symbol appears, it shows that your column is locked and again your row is locked. Okay, once I press F4, it is Excel is locking your column and your row both. So now again, once again I'll press F4. Now the locking system has changed. So I'm pressing the same F4 once again. So here now your column is released and row is locked. Once again I'll press F4. Your column is locked and row is released. Once again I'll press F4. The locking system gets changed. So repeatedly when I press F4, the locking system gets changed. Okay. So here I'm going to press F4 in order to keep this 150 constant. Okay. I'll press enter. I'll come here to the first cell and apply the fill handle, this black color cross. Double click on it. So you can see now my calculation is done. Now when I look at the formula, it is B36 into C33. So 4 into 150, 2 into 150, 1 into 150, wherein you can see the hours there is a movement, there is a flow, and here the cell has remained constant. Okay, this is called as absolute reference. So absolute reference. So how did I do my absolute reference? So here I use the functional key F4. So here my cell was C33. Okay, so once I pressed locking, so here I got $C $33. Okay, so $C means your column is locked, $33 means your row is locked. So here I have used functional key F4 to lock the cell. So this is to lock the cell. I hope you people understood. So I wanted you people to try with this first one and then the second one, and try if you can solve this GST and this 5% also. So try to understand the logic and then do it. If any doubts, you can ask me. Try with the first one, relative reference and absolute reference. I have given two other examples. I wanted you people to try it out. I will show you once you have done.
Ma'am, should we do it from the Excel sheet which you've sent,
Yeah, ma'am.
or we
Last
can?
class previously, initially I had shared you one Excel file. No, in that only it is there. So this is the last concept in that sheet. So today, whatever
Okay.
we have, I have shared, we will do it once completing this.
Okay.
It's not working for me. Every time I press F4, it just shows me the microphone icon.
No, that for that you are using laptop means you need to press functional key Fn. So at the bottom you can see near your control alt and windows button you will be having one Fn key. So before you use any of the functional keys you need to hold that Fn and then press F4.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Getting applied now?
Ma'am, is there any other way to use instead of FN function, ma'am? Because in my laptop I'm using as a Chromebook.
So directly if functional key is not there means that means your laptop is updated once, so you can use directly the functional key. So in the keyboard where there is Fn key, that shows that in order to use that functional keys you need to press Fn, or else functional keys will not work. You can just directly try it out.
Okay, ma'am, I'll check once.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Ma'am, the file that has been sent in the group, when I try opening it,
Yes.
it says that the encryption is not available. What does that mean?
Encryption is not available. So now
Yeah,
today
ma'am.
whatever I have shared that one.
Ma'am, that one also and the what you sent in the last class, that also. Both
So
of
if
them.
you are
It says,
trying to open it in your mobile, encrypted files will not get opened
ma'am, in the
until
laptop.
unless is it a MacBook?
No, ma'am, it's a Dell.
Then it should you should be able to open it. No,
Ma'am, I'll send you the
see if
picture. You said.
1 second. Let me see. Picture in which group you have sent ma in financial modeling only. The file is not getting opened. See if I try it out. I'll just close this file. So I am trying to open my file. So it is asking for the protection 0058. Okay. So the file gets opened. Did you try with the right password? Did you try with the right password, ma? The one who asked the doubt, unable to open the file, need to give the password. So for this Excel file, it is 0058. So what about others? Everybody are able to solve it?
Ma'am?
So are you people able to solve this? So in absolute reference, I have given it for GST calculation and one more discount I have given. So try to understand the logic and then apply. If you did not understand, please ask. I will explain you people once again.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Ma'am, I've sent in the group, ma'am. Whatever it is showing.
Yeah,
I
you are
put
not
this
unable
request.
to. Yeah, you have just put this one only. No, that file is not getting opened.
Yeah, ma'am.
Oh, pic you have sent now. One
Yes, ma'am.
second. So are you using the licensed version?
Yes, ma'am.
Kathy,
Yeah, ma'am.
licensed version.
For the Excel,
So
no,
that
ma'am.
is why it is not opening with that. Yes, yes.
So what do I do, ma'am, then?
So that is why it's a licensed version. No, so
Hello?
it's telling verify that the file locations. One second. So it is asking for some file location.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you are downloading, try to download it as once the file is available. No, so just check whether this thing what is available is just in X or is there the symbol is in different way. The symbol.
Yeah, ma'am, I'll check.
So it should be Microsoft Excel workbook.
Yeah, ma'am, I'll check.
Yeah, check. It should be Microsoft Excel worksheet. Why? Because it is not even locating the file. So did you download the file? You need to download the file and then open the file and work.
Yeah, ma'am,
So
I
if you are trying,
downloaded. No, ma'am, after downloading itself, when I try entering the password and I enter it, it comes this way.
no, sometimes if it is a licensed version, so ours it is trial version, educational version. So here, whatever the encryption we have done, license version will not support to it, or else sometimes the file type if it has changed, so that then also it will not accept. So like here when I come Microsoft Excel worksheet, it should not be like any other file type if it is changed.
Okay, ma'am, I'll just
So
see
all
what
those,
can be done.
because here the logo what it is showing is this is the latest version Excel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, check whether the allocation is proper, whether it is locating some other thing. Is it oh, you told it is Dell computer, right? So others are able to access the file, right?
Ma'am.
If there is any setup issues also, sometimes it will not work. So there might be many technical reasons. Gargi, I have shared the file once again. You can download the file. So others are able to do it. Are you able to access the file now?
Yes,
Yeah, ma'am,
ma'am.
I'll check 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah. So others, any doubt? Are you people able to solve, or you want me to explain something?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, still not able to access. What do I do?
Maybe there is some setup issues or something. Still, it is showing the same message only.
Same thing, yes, ma'am.
See, now just I have shared once again. Try to download that file. Last class, you were able to access the same file.
Ma'am, the last class I joined using phone, so I thought that it's the problem with the phone. That's why I did not complain. But then this time with laptop also, it's showing the same.
Because rest other girls and all, everybody are able to access the file. Now have shared it once again in the group. Try to download that file.
Yeah, ma'am, I'll see.
What about others? Are you people able to download and access the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So just don't copy the this one calculation whatever I have applied. Try to understand the logic how it is applied and then try it out. I wanted you people to try with this GST one and the sales one also. Any doubts? Everybody are able to solve it? Okay, let me show how this has to be applied for this GST. So now here I wanted to see the total price with GST, wherein they are telling 10% is the GST rate. So total price I'm going to apply equals quantity into price. So here no fixing, nothing. So I need not have to fix any of the cells. I'll press enter and double click. My calculation is done. Now I wanted to check total price with GST. So with this amount, how much is 10% of GST is equals total price into, I'm going to take this 10% and fix it using functional key F4. Enter. So it is showing only the GST, but here I need to calculate total price with the GST. So for that, what I will do is I'll just add the bracket in the beginning and at the end plus. So this calculation is going to tell me what is the GST rate plus the total price. I got my value. Now the either way how I can do this one is equals total price into, open the bracket, 1 plus 10%, which I'm going to fix it. So close the bracket, enter. So both the ways you can apply the calculation. However you are going to write, Excel is going to show you the answer. Okay, so in Excel it is not that you have to do the things in the same way only, you have to follow that method only, nothing has such. Any of the ways you apply also you are going to get the output. Okay, so the second one here, so I'll tell equals amount into 5%, which I'm going to fix it. So using F4, enter, and I'll come here and I'll apply the fill handle. The calculation is done. So here I have to just take the amount into 5%. Okay, so this is called as absolute reference, when you have to keep any one particular cell constant. Okay, so I can tell it has locking the cell, freezing the cell, anything. So next we are coming for mixed reference. So mixed reference, so this is either my column or my row, any one thing I'm going to fix. Okay, so here I'm not going to fix both the things. As per the scenario I'm going to fix it. So here I'll come, so this is my first cell. So here I'll tell equals 10 into 1. So it is a simple multiplication table of tens. So 10 ones are 10. I'll come here and double click. Is my calculation right? Is my calculation right?
No.
Calculation is wrong. So here it should be like 10 ones are 10, 20 ones are 20, 30 ones are 30, like that. So here I'll take, so I'll consider now this 10 and this ones as two different scenarios. Okay, first let's understand A60, that is column A 60th row. In this I told that in a mixed reference I'm going to lock either my column or my row, any one thing I'm going to lock as per the scenario. So in this scenario, so when I'm applying this and dragging it down, when I do the fill handle, the values will move from one cell to another cell, that is towards the downwards. So as it is moving, the values will move from A60 to A61, 62, 63, 64. That means I need to lock my column. Why I should lock my column and release my row means, so when I am dragging it down, the value should move from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, like this. That is on the rows it has to move. So when I'm dragging it towards my right, so the values when I drag it is going to move from A60 to B60, C60, D60, E60, wherein the actual multiplication should happen one cell above, that is from A60 to B59. So when I drag, the calculation will be applied straight, so wherein it will not go beyond. So it will not go back. So that's why in this particular scenario, that is A60, I'm going to lock my row and release my column. For that, I'm going to press F4 one time, two time, third time. So here now my column is locked and row is released. Now into 1, the second scenario. So that is B59. So in this, when I drag downwards, the values will move downwards, wherein the calculation will go from B59 to B60, B61, B62. Actually, the calculation should be happening one cell back. That is A60, 61, 62. So that's why I'm going to lock my row. Why am I going to release my columns? So when I drag it like this, so the values has to move from 1, 2, 3, 4. That means it should be released on my row. Okay. So here in the first scenario, my column will be locked. In my second scenario, my row should be locked. So I'll press F4 one time, F4 two time. Now I'll press enter. I'll come here, drag it towards my right and apply the fill handle towards my, so drag it downward and towards my right. My calculation is done. If I had tried to do it manually, it would have taken so much of time for me to do. In one single function, I have calculated the entire table. Understood? Any doubts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I wanted you people to try with this and try with the next cell also. Okay, next one, and next to that also it is there. I wanted you people to try with the other twos.
Ma'am, can you please tell the GST one again?
GST,
Yes, ma'am.
this one. So here I wanted to calculate the GST. Okay, so usually when it is not given with the total price, I will take equals quantity into price. That is I35 into J35. Quantity into price, I'm getting my total price. Now in order to calculate the GST, I'll take equals 100 into 10%. So wherein this particular value should remain constant, for that I'll press F4. When I press enter, you can see this particular function, this particular calculation is telling only the GST value, wherein they are asking total price with the GST. So now this particular value is calculating GST. So I'm going to put the bracket in the beginning and in the last. Okay, so this calculation is going to tell me what is the GST rate plus the total. Enter, I got my value. The either way how I can apply the calculation is equals total price into, open the bracket, 1. So whatever the value total price, if it is multiplied with 1, it is going to remain the same, plus the GST rate. I'm going to fix it and close the bracket. So 100 into 1, 1 plus 10%. So 100 plus 10%, I'm going to get my output. So this is the functions what I have put, the calculations. It is not function, it is basic calculation. So either way, any of the type you can give. So Excel will understand and will give the output. So after this, I wanted you people to try with this particular 5%. Got it, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope everybody are able to do. So if you are done with the absolute reference, try with this mixed reference. Okay, once after solving this, try with the other two examples what I have given for relative reference. So relative reference, I'm going to keep my column or my row. Any one thing, fix it based on the scenario. Are you able to do it? Any doubts, please ask. Once it is done, please tell. We'll move to the next concept.
Ma'am, ma'am, you've given another question, no, ma'am, for the
Next.
discount.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
You told us to do that, no, ma'am.
Commission, yeah. Commission and discount
No
also.
commission. Yes, ma'am. For the discount, ma'am, I'm not able to find the correct answer.
You are
Oh,
not able
okay.
to.
Nothing. I thought we should do 12,000 minus 5%. Should we do that or just calculate the
No, no, no,
discount
no.
amount?
Into 5%.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So for our 12,000 amount, what will be the discount if I'm giving 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%? I hope everybody are able to do it. Try to understand the logic, how it is applied, so that it will be easy when we are doing with the financial statements, and after that we have to solve the case study and all. So this all are basic concepts in Excel. So what we are going to do it in for the financial statements and for the this one projects, case studies. So try to understand the logic, how the calculations are being applied. If you are not getting it, please do ask. I'll explain it once again.
Ma'am, can you please explain the commission, uh, how to fill the commission one, that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3?
Yes, yes. So here also, if I don't know the total price, so first I need to calculate the total price, quantity into price. Okay, I'm getting my total price. I'll just apply the fill handle. My calculation is done. Now, if this is my total price, what is the commission I need to pay if the commission rate is 10%, 15%, and 20%? So here I'm going to take the total price, that is Q60. Now, first, again, I'll consider this as two part, wherein my total price and the commission rate. Okay, so in this total price, which one has to be locked? So the same this one get rule gets applied what we did it for the table 10 ones at multiplication table. So in this also the value, when I drag it down, when I apply the fill handle, the values should calculate one below the other. That means it should move down. So here in this condition, first thing is my row should not be locked. When I'm coming to this Q, that is my column. So the value, when I drag it towards my right, so the values is going to move from Q60 to R60, S60, T60. Wherein where it should be applied, it should apply with R58, S58, T58. So here I'm going to keep my column constant and my row released. So I'm going to press F4 one time, two time, third time. So here my column is locked and row is released into 10%. So this is my second scenario where R58. So when I'm talking about the column, when I drag it towards my right like this, the value should move from R58 to S58 to 250. T58. That means here my column should be released. When I'm talking about my row, when I'm dragging it down like this, the values, there are chances that it will move from 10% to tier 1 like this, wherein it should not. So the value should not move on the row basis, wherein it should be moving towards my column. So here in this second scenario, I'm going to keep my row constant. One time, two time. I'll press enter and I will drag it towards downwards and towards my right. My calculation is done. Let's check when I press F2 over here. So I'll put my cursor in this one and press F2. So you can see 875 into 10%, I'm getting this value. I come to tier 2, I'll press F2, functional key F2, 875 into 15%. When I come here, 875 into 20%, wherein the calculation I have applied in only one cell, but Excel has performed the task for all the tires. Clear, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, try it out and try with the other one also, so that you can understand how the references will be applied.
Ma'am, I had one question. Once I have tried using that F1 key, ma'am, but when I'm using F4 key, I'm getting my system locked, ma'am.
Entire system is getting locked. You just try without pressing F and just press F4.
1 minute, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, it's coming, ma'am.
So try with the next this one also, sum also. Getting it, girls? Then able to do it? If it is done, let's start with this one, dashboard. I'll just give the introduction. It's already 7:15.
Yes, ma'am.
So the other one also you people are able to solve it, right? This one, discount percent.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I hope everybody has downloaded this file, Vrinda e-commerce. So the password for this file is Excel123. I'll just explain you about what is pivot table is, how to apply the chart. Basic thing I'll explain, so that from next in tomorrow's class we will start working on this, how to generate the sales report, like how to create the sales dashboard. Have you downloaded the file? So usually, I hope everybody has downloaded the file.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's understand what is the data I have. So here I have almost 30,000 data. Okay, so here I have the index number. Okay, so here index number is given, and then I have the order ID details. I have customer ID and gender, like men and women. So age group, so what is the age group, like adult, how many people are there, teenagers, how many are there, seniors, how many are there, and the date of sales that has happened. So this is for the entire 1 year sales data I have. Okay, so in order to identify which particular month the sales has happened, so I have taken this month also, and the status. So is the order being delivered, returned, or refunded? What has happened? So what are the channels that we have? So online, what are the sales channels we have in order to sell it? So category wise, so what are the categories we have? Like tops, sets, kurtas, western dress, men's, blouse, all those things. And size, what are the different types of sizes we have? Wherein I'm talking about small, large, medium, XL, double X, all those things. And quantities, number of quantities that have been sold. So currency, usually it is in INR based only, so Indian currency based only. The amount to which city that shipment has been sent, to which state, so shipment postal code, and business to business. So is it is sent to the ultimate customer or to the other business? So for that I have put the status. Okay, so now this is the raw data what I have. So if you see how many number of rows it is there means, so it is almost 30,000 rows I have. Okay, the data I have. So from this data, if I have to analyze anything, like if I wanted to check, so who is the top 5 customers who has done this, so who is the top channel from where I have made the highest sale, how much, how many items I have delivered, how much of items I have got returned, refunded, all those things. Age wise I wanted to categorize, and the size wise I wanted to categorize which is the top 3 states that have been made highest sales. So like this, if I wanted to analyze any of my data, so from this one it is very difficult. So it is not an easy thing to analyze my data as per my requirements. So now if I wanted to see the top 3 customers, top 3 states which have been sold, or top 3 categories which have been sold, which month I have made the highest profit, anything as such, it is very difficult. So using Excel, how to create the dashboard, if you see, so here as per my requirement I have created the, so here I have used pivot table. First thing I'll explain you what is basic pivot table is. So what are the things that we can do, and then we will start analyzing on our report. Okay. So here as per my requirement, I wanted to see order versus sales. Then men versus women, how much sales they have made, how much of men, and order status. So how much is delivered, how much is refunded, returned, and cancelled. So top 5 states which have made the highest profit. So age versus gender, so adult, senior, teenagers, how much we have sold. And channel wise, so who is the topmost channel which has been made the sales, like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Meesho, Agio, or directly in the outlet I have sold. So based on certain informations, first thing is I'm going to create the pivot table, based on which I'm going to create the charts by making the necessary changes. So as per my requirement, once I have created all the charts, then I'm going to put all together in one particular sheet. Okay, so here I have applied the pivot table, then I have applied the pivot charts, then I have applied the slices. So these are the slices what I wanted. Now I wanted to see, so here whatever the charts I have created, everything I have put it in one single sheet. Now when I click on this January, so January month, how much sales it has happened. So I'll click on this. You can see January month how much sales it has happened. So sum of amount, count of sales, order, order ID. So how much of women's and men's category I have sold. So how much percentage of items is being delivered, so refunded, returned, cancelled. So top 5 states which has been done, age wise and gender wise. So here if you see adult, so adult, so almost 35% sales has happened. So like this I can make out from here. Channel wise, if you see, Amazon has made the highest sales. So now whatever the information I wanted, so when I look at the raw data, it was so difficult for me to analyze. But when I have put it on the charts, very easily I can make out the details whatever I wanted. So if I wanted to check it for the February month, March month I wanted to check, April month I wanted to check, you can see all the charts are reacting for my requirement. Now I wanted to see category wise. So blouse, how much I have made the sales. So bottom, ethnic dress, kurtas, So if I wanted to see channel wise, Amazon, how much they have made the sales, Flipkart, how much it is, Meesho, Mintra. So like this, I can analyze as per my requirement. So here we are going to learn how to create the pivot table and the other informations and all. So it is already 7:25. So shall I continue it or I'll stop it here, girls? Because here basically we need to understand how the pivot table is applied, what are the changes that I can make on a pivot table, then how to apply the chart and how the formatting of chart is done. Then in the last we'll see how to apply the slicer. So this is the basic information what I need to explain you in pivot table, and then we will create this data analysis.
Excuse me,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
we'll do it
Okay,
in the
it's
next class.
We'll
yes,
do it
we'll
in the
do
next
it.
class.
Okay, so references, whatever I have taught, so please try it out. Okay, so pivot table will continue in the next class and we'll see how to create this analysis for Brinda e-commerce, how to create the sales dashboard for it. So before that, I wanted you people to download these files and keep it ready. Okay, so today we have learned references. Is there any doubts in that? Everybody understood the concept?
Ma'am,
Referencing?
ma'am,
Yes, ma?
ma'am, what is private table?
Pivot table means, see here, when I'm talking about this is a table, so everything is at a fixed point, isn't it? So just now I explained what are the components that I have. So this is a normal table wherein as the sales is happening, I'm uploading my data. Okay, as and when the sales is happening, I'm going to apply the index, what is the order ID, customer ID, which gender it is being sold, age group, date, everything I'm going to apply as and when the sales is happening. And like this only I have built my report. So day wise sales, so today till evening whatever the sales has happened, so 30 days how much sales has happened, that will become my monthly sales. So each and every month, January month sales, February month sales, March month sales, accumulated together it becomes the sales for the year, annual sales, isn't it? So now I have this information which are at a fixed point. Now as per my requirement, whenever I'm telling that I wanted to see, so what are the age group which have been made sales about, or which month has made the handsome profit, or which month has made the loss, so who is the top customer, so anything has such, when I have my table like this, the values are at a fixed point. So if I have to copy paste or rearrange, reorder my table, anything, it is very difficult because my table, the values are at a fixed point over here. So now what is pivot table? So in Excel, in the insert tab, we have the option called pivot table. So what is pivot table means, it is also to create a table, but as per my requirement. I'm not going to take this entire data into picture. Okay, I don't want all those informations. I need the informations which I require. Okay, so here I'm not going to take customer ID, status, or whatever the category set, what is the currency, all those things I don't want. So as per my requirement, here you can see, here I have taken only the month. I wanted to see in this particular month how much amount is being made sale and how much, which is the order IDs. Like January month order ID 2702, till there I have made the sales, like that. So this is the highest sales that has happened, means in the entire year January month has made the highest sales. So by this easy this one, so here I have created a pivot table wherein out of this entire table I have taken only three information, that is my month, the amount, sale, sum of amount, and count of order ID. So in this I'm going to get to know that January month, so which month has made the highest sales, very easily I can make out. So I have not taken my entire table into picture. Whatever the informations I need, I'm going to take it. So wherever I wanted to place it, either on my row or on my column, I'm going to place it according to my requirement. So Excel will give me that flexibility to create the table. So you are not going to take the entire table, you are going to take only the information what you want, which point where you wanted to place, either in the rows, columns, whichever you wanted to place. Accordingly Excel will make it flexible. So as per my requirement, I have put this row labels like sum of amount, count of order ID. I wanted it in the rows, and this months I wanted it in the columns. So when I click here on the pivot table field list, so like this I have my list. See, I have this fields, like I have filters, columns, rows and values, wherein in rows I wanted the month, so I dragged this month and dropped it in rows, and in values I wanted amount and count of ID. So when I put this, so out of this so many headings, I have taken only the required ones and I have created my table. So whichever I wanted in the columns, whichever I wanted in the rows, I'm going to place it, and accordingly Excel is going to create my table as per my requirement. Likewise, I have done for men and women, order status, everything. So tomorrow we'll see. First, we will understand how the pivot table is created, and then we will create this analysis. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you people can leave for the day. So practice whatever I have taught. So tomorrow we'll start with this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.